Detroit Girl Transform on the Resilient Radio stream. Here's a quick clip. Come check us out. Stay tuned.
Pandemic. That was a test for everybody, every business owner. There wasn't help coming from anywhere. You have to figure it out.
I think I shared a story earlier in the conversation, and for me, failure is not necessarily a bad thing. If you're not failing, then that means you're not doing enough. You're not learning. You're missing out on certain opportunities. And so you have to figure out ways to stretch yourself, and to be stretched for you're not working out. You're breaking down your muscle. That's what it's actually doing. And so for me, those have always been learning opportunities. I learned the most when I failed. And I have many. And I was an athlete, got injuries. I learned from those injuries to how to now become a better athlete. Same thing as a boss. I learned from making mistakes as a leader, but then more importantly, going back to what you said earlier, having compassion and listening. The biggest thing we can do as leaders is listen, but I learned all of these aspects in my career through making mistakes. I'm a better person, a better individual as a result of all of my failures. So I fell forward, and I believe in it, and I hope I go out tomorrow and do something not just right, that I can learn from and can do something better the next time.
Absolutely. And I think we could learn from failing in both personal and professional, right? And sometimes growing up, I even remember just talking to some of my family members about, hey, it's okay to let me fail. I know we want to protect and put our kids in a bubble, but it's okay to make sure that we have our own experience with failure, because it will help us have even more grit and determination to get things done.
And that's a great point that you just made about kids. And I used to say, we grew up our kids, and I was having a conversation with my mom, and I said, my kids haven't done anything to get in trouble. And I go,
you want another kid?
Oh, wait a minute. I know you're not talking about.
It's very blessed. And I'm like, but I need something to happen so it can become a teachable moment. And so, of course, you have to use the good times to teach, but sometimes you need a little something, a little something to just go, hey, now let me share with you why that happened, how it happened, and how you can mitigate it going forward, and that you can become better. And I just remember having that conversation with my mom. So yes, it's the same thing with our kids and our family, our friends. You need sometimes adversity to make things just a little better that you can learn from it. And unfortunately, my kids didn't really do anything. It's a good thing. It was a blessing. But yeah, so it's with our family, our kids, everybody. Is how do you learn from these opportunities? And there's so many teachable moments.
Absolutely. Ebony? Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Detroit Girl Transform.